Hello and welcome. Today we are getting set up to go camping. One of the first trips of the summer. So I put this roof rack on. I got my fridge plugged in to shore power, which would be the house, getting that cooled down. I'll show you the inside of the cab, and then I'm going to talk to you about the rack, and we're going to be mounting this box today. This is a custom rack. That box doesn't fit. I had to get special hardware on Amazon. I'll go through that. So the basics of the truck are, we got a AGM battery system that is not currently turned on. This is all customized for me. I just bought an AGM battery. I got the readout here. 30 amp fuse, that might be 40, I can't read it. My DC to DC charge controller, so I can plug in the cigarette plug. So I charge this through cigarette plug and I get about 10 amps to charge out of that. Well, I get about 8 because I'm charging to 13 point something and I don't want to blow the 10 amp fuse that's built into the truck. Just a standard Mighty Max battery, 100 amp hour. And then here's my fridge. I bought this just a basic low-end fridge off Amazon. I think I paid $100, $200 for it. It's got a nice readout. It's been good to me so far. Just got to keep this grating open so that the compressor can run. So it is cooling down right now. I think it's already down to temperature. It's getting there. So yeah, I pre-cool everything before I leave. And then I'll hook up to the battery system, and then I've got also the ability to run lights, and then my other DC devices run off this the Octopus 12 volt Octopus there. So I got cigarette plugs when the truck's turned off, and then when the truck's turned on, cigarette plugs down there, multiplier. I got a lot of power coming through this truck. So usually I'm traveling with electronics. I'm trying to charge cameras. Sometimes I'm charging drones, and then all the other electronics that we got now. So that's the inside of the truck. I'll show you the back real quick as well. And then we'll get into the roof rack build. That's pretty basic. I was not satisfied with anything I found online. So I got my water on the left side. This bed does fold down. It's got wings on it. If you can see, if you can see those, the boards on the left there, both sides fold down to go full width, and then fold up, so I can pull the bed and the drawer out of the truck. So this flips into a table. This is my cooking surface. My stove goes on top of that, make dinner on it. I have hiking poles. If I want to do a full extension on the drawer, I'll cross the hiking poles underneath it and fully support the tail with those hiking poles. They're adjustable, so it doesn't matter the terrain. I can set up on uneven ground and have this drawer supported and fully work out of this. I keep an awning in the drawer for sun cover. It gets super hot out here in the summer. I'm in Colorado, so I'm going to the desert to go camping, and sometimes if you don't have tree cover or you can't get the spot you want, you need to have some shade. So at some point I can go through, we got a project to do, so I don't want to go through what's in the bins, but I do have bin storage. That keeps the mice and shit out of all your stuff during the off season. If something did happen to get in the truck, I also pull it out and put it in the garage sometimes. So if you can, it's better to organize with these bins, and it also keeps pests away. So let's talk about this roof rack. I did look before I did this, and I could not find anything that suited my needs. I guess I should go back here, I apologize. I did have to strengthen the top of the cap here. As you can see, I had a video previously where I talked about the glass work and kind of went through the basics of this project, but I strengthened, I resined out the entire inside of this cap. It was pretty dry, And then I also added layers of glass where I bolted through. So I've got 4 bolts holding that down. I got rubber in between the cap and the aluminum. Probably put 2 layers of glass over the top of the cap, and then I have, so the whole top, the entire top has glass, layer 2 of glass. The bulk of the glass, this is real heavy because that was getting flexion when I pulled on the front that's hanging over. And then I've got a strut of glass because it's all windows. So that was my opportunity to do like a strut and strengthen the side. So there's a layer in between the window on either side, and where it was shot glass, so you shoot glass in, and then the company, if it's too cheap, if they don't resin it out, then you can add a lot of strength to your topper by just rolling it out with, I think it's polyester resin is what I used. I could double check that, but anyway, so this is a 8-foot long rack. It's got 5-foot cross section, so 60 inches. So I just had a machine shop cut me this 2x2 square tube, and then they also gave me the rubber in between. So I've got a section of rubber here, section of rubber there, pretty good engagement with the cap, and then everything is bolted down and siliconed. I've got this little strap here because if you're trying to get up there and you don't bring a ladder, it's a lot easier to get up and access stuff. You just step on the tire and then grab that line, and that'll get you up there so you can access it if you don't want to. I'm going to carry this ladder with me for the trip, but if I don't want to do that, I can get in the box without the ladder. The ladder just makes it a lot more convenient, obviously. So that box is not mounted. I'm going to pull it off for right now, and then I'm going to give you a shot of the bare rack before we get started. I'm going to have to drill some holes to get this. So just bolted down. It's pretty simple to do. I drilled it. I just had the raw box cut, and then I lightly ran a wire wheel over some of it that needed to be cleaned up, but I left it mostly as is. For a couple bucks, I got these end caps that you can drive into standard 2x2 square tube, aluminum square tube. And then I held it together and drilled down through the top and got my pilot hole in the bottom, and then separated the pieces and drilled the bottom separately, but that way everything lined up because I drilled it with it already kind of pre-laid out. Same thing here, silicone around the bolt head, silicone around the washers on the inside, and then this up here. At some point I may mount lights on here. This gives me flexibility. My mountain bikes are plenty light enough to put on, mount the front fork on the front, have the rear tire back here. And this is also great for my canoe. I have a 3-seater canoe over there, 17-footer, so it's a long canoe, and I wouldn't be able to really comfortably put it on the truck if it wasn't for this rack. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start working on this now. I am gonna set you guys up over here so that you can see everything going on. Some of the detail might not be perfect from here, but it's a pretty... All right, so I'm gonna get set up and start drilling this. We'll get this mounted and then get it loaded up. So this is a Pittsburgh socket set. It's a pass-through ratchet, so these bolts are going to be sticking up pretty decently. I had to get special hardware. I ordered a pack off Amazon because the hardware that came with this box, the bolts aren't long enough to go through and around the 2x2 square tube. So I just bought these square U-bolts. They're just over 2 inches wide. I think they're 2 1/4 wide by 3 inches tall. So that gives me a lot of flexibility. I think this is a 10 pack, so I'm going to be using 4 to mount this, but I still have a bunch left over for attaching mountain bike mounting systems. I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to strap the ladder down on the other side, but I may come up with something where I kind of have some brackets that it sets in and then just put a quick bungee cord around it so that it won't slide around. But if you guys do want to do something like this to your truck, I would highly recommend it. I think it's like one of the best things that I've done to expand my capability as far as, you know, camping goes. I'm gonna have a lot of room up there because the back we're sleeping in it, and so you just can't. It's really annoying to try to store stuff in that manner. To constantly have to be taking the stuff out as soon as you are getting ready to go to sleep. That gets really old after a while. So let's see. I think I am going to have to get one more thing. So I don't want you guys to wait. We'll resume when I've got all my crap ready. Okay, and we are back. I just needed to get my metal yardstick. I love this thing, but I didn't mark on both sides. Up there I'm following existing holes, but back here I'm at 8 inches and 10 1/2 off of that hole. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Measure twice, drill once. So if you guys have build projects that you're doing, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing to your trucks. If there's something you want to do, but you're still kind of brainstorming as far as how exactly you want to put something together, I'm more than happy to, if you leave something in the comments or however you want to get in touch with me. Obviously the channel has a Gmail account as well. I'm more than happy to talk to you about some of the stuff, what your current setup is, and you know, we could just have a discussion and talk about some of your ideas, or I could give you some ideas as far as how you want to set certain things up. So super easy way to do this is going to be using the actual metal plates that came with the bolts, the U-bolts. So I'm just going to line that up, and then, well, the drill bit's too big. Brilliant. Let's see. These are 5/16 bolts, so I'll just use the next smaller size. It's going to work better if you have the bigger size, a little bit of extra room. But that means we can't use the plate. That's okay.
Might as well get our tools set up before we get this stupid thing up there. Oh yeah, that's broken. So this is what came with the box, which works good for most. And then it's got the black thumb screw type. Works great for normal racks, but did not work once I put this thing on. This box has been honestly pretty great. We used it all winter, and it was a cheaper sport rack brand off Amazon. I'm not paying $600 for some piece of plastic that just says Thule on it. So yeah, this thing is great. No regrets. No regrets. It doesn't want to give up the key though unless it's locked. Try to give you guys the best view that I can. I'm just going to move it back a little bit. Just get one nut on one side to hold it in here while we get everything lined up. And we're just feeding these U-bolts up through. So this weekend we're going camping up on the Grand Mesa National Forest. We're going to be by a lake, and so I'm bringing my my wetsuit. We're going to shove the inflatable kayak in here. Definitely take some video of all that fun stuff, but I'm excited to get out there, get out of the heat, get in the water. And there's some videos. We've already used the inflatable kayak. It's a $130 Intex boat that we got from Amazon. We've used it on the Colorado River this year. Do a little bit of light whitewater, class 2, with some very small sections of class 3 that we either avoided or just tried to get through it the best way we could. But this weekend we're going to be taking it on a lake, which is more what that caliber of boat is designed for. And I'm also bringing my wetsuit, so I'm going with two of my friends. They'll probably use the boat, and I will probably swim around and hang out in my wetsuit in the lake. And honestly, I prefer that on a hot day. It's any time to being in a boat, just being in the wetsuit, drifting around. So I cannot wait. Super pumped. So now we're just tightening this down. I used this on an impact, so the thing isn't quite perfect anymore. The ball that retains this extension, it slides out, but you just kind of, you got to work with it. But this allows you, this ratchet is great because it allows you to use a ratchet on something that most of the time you'd need a wrench for. There's also an adapter for this that can put it on an impact, and that's obviously how I messed mine up. Okay, I think this is going to be quicker if I do get a power tool to drive these in. So let's take a break and resume with more tools. Okay, so we are back in business. I'll show you what I got set up here. So, pass-through socket with the extension on it, 3/4 inch size socket, deep socket, with a 3/8 adapter on the drill. Put the deep socket on, and then the pass-through socket with the extension creates a socket that is like 5-6 inches deep. So you can quickly zip these bolts down and get them tight, instead of spending half an hour trying to make this work. I'm going to turn the clutch all the way down. That way I can just cinch these up with the drill, not have to worry about anything, and then I'll just give it a final tightening with the actual wrench. I don't like to use a power tool to tighten things, give a final tightening on things. Generally a four volume. All right, we're just gonna tighten these last two up, and then we'll just go around and snug everything up. So I just tighten it down with the clutch, and then I'm going to go around and do half a turn with the wrench, and then we'll know she ain't going anywhere. And we can load up the kayak and my wetsuit, and this will be a great place to keep the trash as well. I don't want to have it in the cab when we're driving around. This ski box is going to make an excellent addition to our other gear, and we use it in the winter for skis. It kind of sits around, or has been sitting around, so this is a great opportunity to make this useful year-round. Alright guys, well, thanks for checking this out. Hope it was helpful and inspiring. Maybe give you some ideas for what you want to do with your build. At some point I'm going to start attaching more gear to the roof rack here, and I'll I will make some videos. And if you guys aren't curious, I didn't show you, but this is pretty strong, you know, especially for having 4 to 5 feet of overhang over the cab. And this cab, because it's only got one door, if you got a double cab so that you got a second set of doors, they make roof racks for it, but very limited roof rack options for this truck unless you want to drill into the cab. And I personally prefer this solution to drilling into the cab. If I want to take the cap off, my rack comes completely off with it, and I can just drive around with my bare truck if I want. So alright guys, have a great afternoon. Hope you're going to be getting out there and having some fun this weekend. Okay, so we got the box all loaded up. I just wanted to show you guys what that looks like. So let's see. I've got the let me back up a little bit. I got my wetsuit, the boat pump, flippers, the boat itself, the seats, life jackets, and then the paddles are underneath it. Everything fits perfectly. I already checked it, closes right up. Just absolutely mint, you know. Sometimes things do work out. I'll get a final couple seconds of video. I'm going to close this up, lock it, load the ladder on the other side, and then get ready to head out, get the food in the cooler, all that good stuff. Okay, just one final shot of everything all strapped up. As you can see, I got a ton of room left up there. I really have to figure out, I'm going to redo a lot of my camping stuff in that drawer and free up a lot of room. So pretty excited about this setup. Can't wait. I might even buy a sister box at some point and have 2 boxes, one on either side, because I'm really liking this. Especially looks like there's enough room to put the ladder right in between them, so that would be absolutely incredible. Anyway guys, have a great afternoon.